The purpose of this video is to see how we can use our smartphones, such as the Samsung smartphone and iPad, to show art. At the moment I'm showing 3 images and cameras. What we can do is just show who's talking by changing that option there. We also can see the people, and what we can do is see that this computer which is here, is the presenter at the moment, which means that I can share the screen. As we see previously, this computer's got 2 monitors, and I'm going to use the monitor number 1. And monitor number 1 is showing in this section what I have on my screen, and I'm going to be showing some art. And so other people will see this art. I want to change it so that the Samsung smartphone can show things to the other people, and so I come to this position and make that the presenter. At the moment, that presenter hasn't enabled any sharing except the camera. And if we now look at that computer, we can see these buttons are the buttons which belong to this desktop, and the other buttons are what's on the iPad. The iPad has a button at the bottom which lets you go into the menu, and we can see the camera, and we can see the camera is set up with a desk light. Looking at some art. On this computer we can then magnify this up and we can see the art and discuss the art. And here is an exercise in negative representations, and can you see the mistake? The mistake's just there. The other thing we can do in this phone is go to applications such as the gallery. This particular image is an image painted in Victor Harbor in 2019 by Lorraine Lewitzka at a workshop which I was involved in running at Victor Harbor at Easter time. And this is showing Lorraine Lewitzka preparing to do the painting. This is an early stage with the underpainting, and down here is the image which Lorraine has used as the inspiration for the work. So we can see this is the final result, and this is Lorraine at work. What I'll then do is go into the camera. So we're now looking at that and we can see that there's an option up here option down the bottom. Just here's an option there where we can flip it, and now it's looking at me. So down the bottom, that button will flip the image from the front camera to the rear camera. The advantage of using the camera in the Samsung is that the quality of the image when you use the actual camera is superior to when you try and use the web camera. So if I stop sharing, if I go down to this button down here and touch it, and then we look at the things that are running on the system. So we've got messages and phones. What I'm going to do is stop sharing the desktop by pushing this green button here. I'm now about to push this green button there. And we look at the active cameras. And flip the camera so that it's looking at the art. We can see that the image of the art using the web camera is inferior to when we use the sharing of the screen and use the same camera. So that web cameras are purposely arranged so that the information is compressed and it's not as high quality as when you use a desktop. Lastly, I'm going to swap over to the iPad and make that the presenter. And we're going to share the desktop. So we're now inside the screen of the iPad. On an iPad, just over on this side, there's a button, which is the menu button, which then brings you up to the screen. And what you can then do is look at art. And so here is some examples of where a painting exercise using pears was created with a light box in effect on the table in the studio, and so that became a close-up which could be used. If we push the button on the side, it takes you back, and we go to the menu. At the top here you can see there's a icon for the camera. If I touch it, it then shows you an option, and down here there's a flip button which I'll touch, and you see now that I've touched the all. I'll do that. and if I go to this and cancel that, sorry, if we go to that and make this the presenter, we can come back again to this computer. If I stop sharing the desktop and go back to active cameras, we can see we've got two active cameras, the one in this smartphone and the one on the computer. So the purpose of the video is to show that if you use the sharing of the screen, you can get superior quality image from Samsung and other Android phones and iPads if you use the rear camera option as part of the presentation. Thank you.